Gettysburg Battle Map 8, July 3, 1863, Picketts Charge. At 1 p.m., the Confederates began the artillery barrage on Cemetery Ridge. Confederate gunners overshot or missed their target. They were shooting at an uphill angle, so it was hard for them to see where they were actually hitting. So Union officers ordered their guns to be silenced in an attempt to lure the rebels out into the open field. It worked. Unable to speak, Longstreet nodded his orders to an ecstatic Pickett that he may begin the attack. Pickett's men, including Lewis Armstead and Richard Garnett, stepped off from Seminary Ridge and began the assault. They must march 1 mile to reach the Union lines, totally open and exposed. Once the Confederates are out in the open, the Union guns, not damaged in the artillery barrage, not silenced after all, unleashed on the exposed Confederate lines. Only a few hundred Confederates made it to the angle, and all were killed or captured. Armstead was able to make it over the wall. He was shot and found out that his best friend, Union General Win Hancock, has also been hit. Armstead died, but Hancock lived. To the right is the famous Friend to Friend monument near the cemetery that depicts Confederate officer Lewis Armstead, who by that point was mortally wounded, lying in the arms of a Union soldier and asking about the fate of his best friend, Win Hancock. And he asks the Union officer to please give General Hancock his regards and tell him he was so very sorry. Realizing the attack had failed, the Confederates retreated back to Seminary Ridge, where an apologetic Robert E. Lee, sitting on his horse Traveler, was waiting for them. When he looked at George Pickett, who he couldn't even believe was still alive, he said, "General Pickett, you need to look to your division. You need to make sure your men are in good order as we retreat." And Pickett looked at Lee and he said, "General Lee, I have no division. My men are all gone." Till his dying day, Pickett said of General Lee, "That man had my boy slaughtered." He never forgave Lee for ordering that assault. On July 4, 1863, the very next day, Lee slipped back into Maryland, but George Meade, the Union general, chose not to pursue him. He felt his men weren't able to. Lee's army never recovered from the losses suffered at Gettysburg, and the war began to turn in the North's favor.